So today this will be our last but one topic. We'll be looking at the interface of technology and politics. Okay, how technology shapes politics and governance. In contemporary times, modern technology has shaped the way politics is done, the way states interact with their citizens, and the way citizens interact with policymakers, the way citizens participate in politics and decision making, the way they demand accountability from their leaders. Technology, and for that matter, ICT, new media, and what have you, have shaped how state-citizen engagement or interaction is done. Ladies and gentlemen, this is one of the emerging topics in comparative politics. It's not one of the traditional topics, but when you check more recent literature and write-ups on comparative politics, literature has examined how technology is shaping politics, and we term it technopolitics. Technopolitics. Ladies and gentlemen, today we are looking at technopolitics. Now, by technopolitics, it involves the hybrid of technical systems, okay, the use of ICT. It involves hybrids of technical systems and political practices that produce new forms of power and agency. So there are three key elements in the definition: interface or hybrid of technical system. Okay? We use technologia. Technical systems and political practices. You can make mention of any political practice, okay, whether political participation, shaping political culture, demanding accountability, any other political practice, or governments communicating to their citizens. Okay, these are political practice. Technopolitics, we are looking at the hybrid of technical systems and these political practices, which produce new forms of power and agency. And by new forms of power and agency, we are saying that in this day and age, you cannot have anyone that will say, well, I am controlling who has access to popular platform or who will not have access. No one can gag anyone. You see, previously, if you did not have the platform, or if you will not be invited to, let's say, the radio station, TV station, okay, or even when you do a program and then they don't cover it, then you are still in your small space. You don't have the platform. And so no one will even listen to you, what you have to say, your views, your concerns. Then let's say the media, the traditional media, deliberately sidelines you, or they black you out, like they usually will say. If they are not happy with the government or any opposition leader, they say then they are what? What's the term they use? Is it they are blacklisting you or something? So whatever you do, they will not even cover. So then you are in the dark. They have power, okay? There's what power. In the traditional system, only few people had power. Those who had access to these, media platforms had power. Their voices were heard. other minorities, people who did not have access will not get the invitation, their voices are not heard. But technopolitics is reshaping this, and it is producing new forms of power and agency. Today, everyone has power. Okay, everyone has power. Abigail Akwa has power. Abubakar Mohammed, you have power. Okay, you have power. Martina, you have power. Ahmad Aima, you have power. Okay, Bonga, you have power. Okay, Catherine Yeboah-Assiamah, you have power wherever you are. You can be in your small room, in your hostel, on your bed, and you are powerful. You can put your message across. You don't need to go to the TV station or radio station, No. Technopolitics is producing new forms of power and agency. The way politics is done, you can be anywhere and, tell your view, call leaders to account. You can just take your phone somewhere. If they claim they have done the bridge, but the bridge is not done, you can just go there, take a picture, upload it on your, whichever platform, and then you give the narration. Give the narration. That is of the new forms of power and agency. Okay. Oh, Fidos Muhammad, you have power. Yes, you are powerful. Fidos, you are powerful. You can take your phone, and then call your leader to account. You don't need to be on TV3, Channel 1. No. You have the power. That is technopolitics. My slide is not showing. Emma, is it not showing? Can you see my slide? It is. Emma, please check. Join again.
Please, it's not sure. Okay, please, I will.
Yes, Martha, you have power. You can, and that is why, as part of this course, okay, the only assignment I'll give is to demonstrate that power. You will do, okay, well, it is there as we proceed, I'll tell you. And yes, you have power these days, okay? Because technopolitics, is hybrid of technical system and political practices that produce new forms of power and agency. Okay, thank you. Thank you all. It is the entanglement of technology with politics. Entanglement of technology with politics, which takes place on narratives of national and social identity with concrete policy positions and material outcomes. You can take any concrete position on governance issue and it brings about some material outcomes because no one can gag anyone. Okay, no one can gag anyone. Like those days, you can organize a seminar or a conference and then you talk all the talk you can. Maybe you invited some TV stations, radio stations to come and cover. They will come and they will interview you. You will watch the space, the thing never appears on the TV. It's never. So, Master, what you go, What you go, all the things you said, they did, it never, they never edit, and so no material outcome. Bro, when you talk, you see what you go, the thing never, shows. You'll be watching the news, about the thing. You call maybe the journalist who came, oh, Master, no, you didn't treat us so mama solid, so your thing is there. No one is editing it. You see, no material outcomes. This day and age, all you need is maybe just to do live. Let's say you are doing your program, then you're also doing live, or you take some shots of those important aspects and then you post them, and it gets the kind of outcome you so desire. Okay. All right. Yes, Martha, they are wearing bareback. What you go? If you think someone will do your bidding, no one. Unless you carry your own cross. Okay. Technopolitics entails the ways in which technology influences political processes, power structures, and governance. How does technology influence political process, power structures, and governance? That is technopolitics. These days and age, citizens have more power. People at the local level have more power because they can call their leaders out. And recently you heard the road minister. What is the name of the road minister? Who is the road minister? What's the name?
Honorable Kwame Gavins Abuja.
Fantastic. Oh, good. You've mentioned all his names. He has a fantastic name. I like the Gavins. Honorable Kwame Gavins Abuja. So you see, now he went to inspect the roads under construction. He went to instruct, roads under construction. Said that brain. So you see, when the minister went, well, he said that sometimes the contractors will write a nice report that they've done the road. But when they go for inspections, what they have on paper as to, the nature of the roads, the completion rate, what sometimes they have on paper as reported by the contractors or supervisors, might not be the same when they go and inspect the roads. It appears that Minister Nukra. So contractors will write nice things, say, oh, the road is 80% complete and what have you. But when they go for inspection, it's not so. So he was calling on citizens, okay? Citizens to also be on guard, okay? They should also be on guard. If you see something, say something. If a contractor is not performing, you also have the power, okay, to participate in the political process. You can just take a camera at this road that, well, you heard on TV that, they mentioned it is 90% done, but nothing is, you can just take a shot. And then, so the minister gave the guideline on how citizens can take part in this, active supervision. Otherwise, Ghana for the minister on person Chibegu. So he wants the people, also the citizens, okay, to be part of the monitoring process because they live with the projects. They can report in real time whether contractors are on site or they just massage some report and give it to the minister, and that the minister will not be wearing a bareback. Now, when the minister said that, that day I was coming to campus and, it was a morning show. The journalists who were reviewing the papers, one of the journalists was not happy about what the minister was saying. That, well, because citizens have paid taxes, that the minister, and for that matter, those former supervisors, those entrusted with supervision, ought to carry that task. And this should not be ceded to citizens. In other words, because we have assigned a task to, formal actors like the minister and the ministry and those in charge, citizens have no role. So then why is he calling on citizens to take part? And I was like, but this Madam Pa, but do you agree with her, what she was saying? What is your view on her take?
Madam no nechigo.
Yes, Madam, no, because if you think that because you have elected people, they are going to do what you want, because you have, former governance, entities or former actors, they are going to do, what you, the people you want. No, in that case, Madam, you are wearing bareback. What you go, okay? And you should be happy that the minister is even calling on you to take part in the process. when we were looking at the systems approach, okay, in addressing corruption, we mentioned that the third force is very important. Is that not the case? Hello? The third force, very
Yes, sir.
important.
Yes, it's very important.
But if you think that because you have formal, institutions, and so it is their role to perform, and you are, once you have elected them, you go to sleep. No, otherwise you'll be wearing bareback. Jessica, your back is their back is exposed. They are wearing bareback. So it's important that citizens do take part. Ima, you've raised your hand. Yes, please unmute your mic and speak. Ampate Emmanuel, or is there a mistake? All right, let's proceed. So it's important that citizens take active part in the monitoring, in the accountability process, because at the end of the day, you, the citizens, we are the principals, okay? Citizens are the principals. The government, and for that matter, the minister is an agent. The minister is an agent. Okay? We have entrusted them with the power. So we are the owners. The citizens are the principals, and the government officials and all those are the agents. And so if you send someone, you also have a responsibility to ensure that the one you sent is doing the right thing. And the minister comes to you that, oh, okay, we know you've given us the power, but then help us also. If you see that something is not going on well, report so that we can what? We can put them on track. We can tell them to do the right thing. This one, is it something bad he said? And then you are ranting that, oh, no, Master Wachibu, huh? You need to also be on track and tell that, well, this contractor is not on site. And so, minister, if you can call them to order. I mean, once we engage in this collective action, we get for proper governance and then proper outcomes. It encompasses the interaction between technological advancements, political strategies, shaping how societies are governed. And in these days and this day and age, you don't need to travel all the way from your village. Maybe you don't need to travel from Techiman and Kranza, Bolga, Yendi to Accra to report to the minister. In just a few seconds, you've been able to report your issue. If a bridge, they claim they have done it, but the bridge is, no concrete or block or whatever has touched the bridge. You quickly use your smartphone, take it and then send it. People will share, it gets to the right source. And then action is taken. There have been many instances where citizens reported on issues, it went viral, a few moments later, the thing has been resolved. But for the citizens or the people, okay, bringing the issue on the agenda table or reporting the matter, it will be there for a long time. No action will be taken on that. All right, technopolitics. Now, so my dear friends, that is technopolitics for you. Now, there are some theoretical perspectives that we need to note. There are three key theories that underpin technopolitics. The first one is technological determinism. Technological determinism. Well, this theory argues that technology or technological advancement, okay, shapes society and political outcomes in a linear way. Once the technology comes, people are going to use it, in a more predictable and linear way. Okay, so, well, Facebook, WhatsApp, TikTok, and all this, YouTube. Once the technology is available, well, it's expected people are going to utilize it in this manner, that manner, in a more predictable and linear way, which means that technology shapes or determines or dictates the pace of society. Once the technology is available, people are going to utilize it. People are going to deploy it in the way they do their thing in their political process and their participation and all manner. In a nutshell, growth or development in technology, okay, shapes how society is governed or is ruled, or how people deploy that technology. That is technological determinism. There is another school of thought called the social construction of technology. Now, this, in short, we call it Scott. Now, Scott argues that, well, it is not technology that will dictate how society, utilizes it. I mean, the fact that the technology is there doesn't mean that people are going to utilize it. But society, and for that matter, people shape even how technology is developed and how technology is used, okay? So Scott argues that society shapes technological development and how it is used. And this emphasizes human agency and social factors. In other words, it is not technology that dictates the pace for people and society. It is society, regulators, or people who even determine which technology is developed, which features are embedded in the technology, how we use the technology, okay? But it is not the technology that will determine how we use it, in how the technology wants. Now, are you following the arguments? These are two schools of thought. And at a point in time, I'm going to ask you, your view on any of this. Now, a third framework, which is very popular, we call it the actor network theory, ANT. In short, we call it ANT. It views technology and human actors as part of a network where both influence political processes. Okay, technology and human actors, they are part of a network. I mean, they move hand in hand. Each one can influence the other, and they both interact to shape political processes. Now, which of these theories do you side with, and why? Which of the two theories? Which of these three theories? Yes, Emmanuel. Which of them do you?
I side with the third one, the ant, because it seeks to the ant, because it seeks to integrate both human aspects and technology. It doesn't seem to explain that technology influence society or society influence, but both come together to make things work in terms of politics.
Very well, thank you. Yeah, so that's the actor network theory, which is a bit very popular. Okay, any other view? Yes. Do you all side with Emmanuel? Okay, so these are the theoretical perspectives. Yes, who is on the floor?
Okay, Prof, I was speaking about the question you asked about which of the theory we side with.
Okay.
And I said I side with the social construction of technology.
Okay.
Okay, so in this case, I think that the environment or happenings in the environment determines the technology that is being employed. And my example is coming from Asia and Middle East. Most of the technology that they use, not the normal ones we know like Facebook, Instagram and stuff, most of them, their system imposes the type of technology they are supposed to use, which is their social human agency. So
Right.
it's not like,
Yes. Very good.
it's not like their technology, the technology is rather supposed to influence what they are supposed to do. Is their system. So if you go to countries like South Korea, they are not linked to the global technological network. They also have their own technologies they use, which fits into their system.
Okay.
Thank
you
you
very much. Thank you. Yes, and this is a very fantastic point. Yesterday at City Campus, someone made a similar argument, and that is a fantastic, view. Okay, there are many societies. Okay, Bonga, make your point.
All right. Well, I also side with the first point.
Technological determinism.
Yes, because
Okay, explain.
Even in the last US election, you realize that they were very mindful of their cybersecurity because they were afraid China or Russia would use some technology to influence their election. So they put that measures in place to avoid it.
Okay, thank you. So each of the theories, okay, have their strengths and then their weaknesses. In some ways, technology can shape how things are done in a predictable way. In many contexts, also, society regulates which technologies can be used in the country and even what features should be taken off. Usually, you see US regulators inviting these, apps, the developers to come and then explain to the regulators, and all this. Okay, what are they trying to do? They want to regulate, okay, the development of certain features, how to fit the technology. So that even if certain features, they think that, well, these features, can you take these ones off? Can you, tame these features? That is Scott for you. Society shapes technological development, how it is used. That is Scott. In some cases, also, it is difficult for you to even regulate, the technology. You can even say it, but how to effectively, for example, if you say this site or something, kids are not supposed, this is rated, this one is rated 18 and blah, blah, blah. But as to whether or not you can properly monitor or restrict this, it is also one way. Okay, so each of these three theories, they have their strengths and their weaknesses. They can be, you can justify each of them, but to an extent, okay, they have their limitation. So these are the three theories that underpin technopolitics. Technopolitics. All right. And technology is crucial or useful in shaping how people, interact with their public officers or even public administration. Okay. There is a study I was monitoring, okay, where I witnessed a work where the person was examining how people use technology to get services. The DVLA, these days DVLA, when people want to renew their licenses, maybe register their vehicles, or there are some online platforms, platforms where people engage. Sometimes we even begin the process, and then later you go and finalize it in person. Okay, same with the passport office. You can start from your home. You can use your own phone to take your picture, and then buy the form online. Start filling it, your details, whatever, till they give you appointment date or something. Then you go there and they capture your biometrics, and it makes it easier. Okay, that is technopolitics, interface of technology, governance, and political affairs. All right. There are certain key themes, okay? Certain key themes in technopolitics that we need to take notice when we are looking at technopolitics. There are some concerns. There are some concerns we need to pay attention to. Issue of surveillance and privacy. Surveillance and privacy. Governments sometimes would want to use technology, okay, like mounting CCTV at certain vantage points, or using internet to monitor citizens, collecting data, various data about people. I mean, the goal is to ensure that there is security, okay? They want to make sure that there is collective security in society. And so it's important that they monitor. They even want to know the users behind certain social media posts, ostensibly to monitor and to ensure that there is security, for national security concerns. Well, this is good for surveillance, but then it has some privacy concerns. You might be invading into people's privacy. So how do we balance state security needs with our individual privacy concerns? Whilst the Constitution guarantees, privacy of people, how do we balance these two? During the COVID era, I mean, in order to properly trace, contact tracing and what have you, well, there were certain laws, okay? Certain laws were passed to give the executive or the government powers to monitor people's, maybe their mobile phone calls or what have you, okay? To monitor people. Phone monitoring, internet monitoring, and what have you. This was for health reasons, okay? General security, so that we will know, we'll be able to, even though it is good for surveillance and security concerns, it has privacy concerns also. In the way, people thought that, but if you are able to monitor the calls and what have you, and you say, matter will be actually go home. You see, then everybody will be wearing bareback. If you call someone and what have you, you see, and so people were raising privacy concerns, and someone took the matter to court for the Supreme Court to declare that act or enactment as unconstitutional. And what was the ruling of the court? What was the ruling of the court? See, the court declared that the Constitution guarantees of people's privacy. And the Constitution is the supreme law. So Parliament cannot pass an act of parliament that will take this for privacy from the citizens. Otherwise, then we are making a secondary enactment also superior to the constitution. No, the constitution comes first in the order of laws. Okay, Article 11. The constitution is the supreme law. We cannot make what other inferior laws that will override, the constitution. And so that law was struck down. Okay, it was struck down. But all in all, issues about surveillance or balancing state security, there should be a balance between state security needs and individual privacy rights. We should not say because of security needs, even your bathroom, then we bring okay, but yes, otherwise, so that is surveillance versus privacy. We also have another theme, digital democracy. The notion of technology or technopolitics has brought about e-government, implementation of digital platforms for public administration and citizen engagement. Like I was mentioning, the DVLA, Passport Office, Lands Commission, and other state agencies. When people want to obtain or access the services of these state agencies, they don't have to walk there physically. These state agencies or public administration, entities have online or digital platforms. Like the Foreign Affairs, they have the digital platform where you can go there to access their services. Just like when you wanted to come to the University of Ghana, did you have to walk or take car from your place all the way to campus to buy form and to apply? No. You just secure your voucher. These days you don't even have to go to the banks to buy the voucher. Online you get it, and then you do everything online, you apply, then you stay home. Okay, that is what e-government. Institutions, state institutions, like the ministries and other agencies, they have digital platforms for transacting their services, platforms of public administration, where they use it to engage the citizens who want their services to go there. Even in local government, sometimes you go to the online platforms of most MMDAs, you can engage, the assemblies. That is e-government. Technopolitics, or the advent of technology, has also brought about online voting. Online voting. When is postal voting? Is it today or was it yesterday?
Today.
Posta is having elections, and it is online, right?
Yes,
it's online.
Yes.
So technology has shaped the way we do politics. Technology has shaped the way we elect our leaders using online systems. Online voting comes with some challenges and some benefits. I don't know why it was postponed yesterday, but online voting has certain challenges and there are certain benefits. What are some of the challenges of online voting? Yes, what are some of the challenges?
Technical glitches.
Technical glitches. Okay, thank you, Jerome. Any other?
Dog, the problem system can be
easier.
Rigging is easier. There was another point. Yes.
The system can be hacked.
The system can be hacked. Okay, yes, these are some of the challenges. And you see, they are very real. See, I was a POSA EC 2009. I was the EC for POSA in 2009. And we introduced, first introduced online voting. And I was the EC for Geography, GRESA, 2008. First, GRESA, 2008. And then 2009, I was the EC for POSA. And also Legon Hall, I was the deputy EC. So you see, yes, I was the EC. And that very year, at the SRC level,
Ghana.
at the SRC level, they rotate. So that very year, 2009, it was Legon Hall that will be organizing the SRC election. So we organized the SRC election for the year. Okay, myself and then my colleagues, we were four commissioners. So, but when it comes to online voting, you see, online voting, my dear friends, people can easily will want to manipulate the system, okay? And if you don't take care, you'll be a candidate. But Martha, what will happen? You are a candidate, but what you are?
What you go?
All your parts are naked. Online voting. If you don't take care, because the one developing the software, okay, they can put some codes that all the votes that Martha will get, give 80% to Jerome. And that is what encoded into the system. And if you don't take care, all the people will vote for you, but the system is calibrated in such a way that you see someone will be securing your votes. But and you didn't know, okay? But we can call for audit of the system or the software. Maybe after the process. Yes.
Sir, today POSA is having elections, but my ID cannot be found on the system.
So how do they rectify such issues? Maybe you have to go to UGCS. Yes. Because you are a registered member or you didn't pay your dues.
Sir, I did. Even Martha paid for me.
Yes, I paid for him.
So it means you are a member in good standing. The way it is there, maybe go to UGCS. Just say Jerome watching you. Is it that maybe some people have taken you from the album?
I think the system
they changed his picture with female.
Elimination by rough artist.
Go to UGCS. Let them include you in the album.
Sir,
But before the election, they should have done exhibition. That is why at the national level we do exhibition. Everybody go and check whether your details are there. Did they do that?
No.
These are some of the things, Otherwise, Jerome would have had the time to correct this or to remedy it. Well, but it's not too late. You can go to UGCS and you see if it were face-to-face voting, manual voting, we will have a mechanism to rectify some of these, maybe supplementary something. But online, you see, if it were manual voting, you go there, all the aspirants, they are there, all the polling agents are there. Oh, they know. Yeah. They know Jerome. Jerome is part of us. Jerome has his ID card. So clearly, or we can even ask for proof. He brings his proof of registration. Yeah, of course, he's a political scientist registered. So if his name is not in the register, we can all, agree, and then he writes it in the supplementary, and then, with consensus, he votes. Online, well, we are not all gathered, and so it's difficult for people to. Maybe this one I have to go to UGCS. When you go to UGCS, you see that your EC will be there with the polling agents. Okay, so it can be addressed there. They can just call the technicians to fix it for you. Yeah. Last time I went there when they were doing the election, you go and you see all your Jerome. Online voting, it has some benefits, but it comes with what? With challenges.
Yes, sir.
Okay. People can ask for review of the system or the software. But, you see, people. But let's proceed, my dear friends. Issues about cybersecurity is one key thing that we are also wary of. There are some cyber threats. The rise of cyber attack, targeting state infrastructure. Sometimes people can hack into, state facilities, the software, and then people's, personal information, their data, which the institution has collected or gathered. People hack into that system, and then they are able to have access to these data sets, okay, or information. Even during the electoral process, when people would hack, like we were mentioning, whether or not China was able to, to hack into the US system, or Russia was able to hack into, okay. Cyber attack can target these and then will compromise the integrity of such legitimate political processes. There have been calls for defense mechanisms, okay, cyber security, ways to safeguard digital infrastructure. So this day we talk about defense mechanisms, cyber security, so that all state entities are able to have some backup, and also to secure their infrastructure, so that people cannot access their information or data sets. Now, another key concept which we need to understand is digital divide. Digital divide. In as much as we want to encourage people to participate in the political process, and we have mentioned today that technopolitics or digital systems, the digital systems have brought about new forms of power and agency. Everyone is powerful. You can be in your small room. They sometimes will say that someone is in the kitchen, but then they are making a powerful impact. They are able to participate in the political process. You can be on your bed, you can be in your hostel, but then you are making a meaningful contribution to governance process, political process. You are shaping your policies, shaping personnel of government. But there is a concept called digital divide. Yet though we say that the new forms of technology have empowered almost everyone. But my dear friends, there are some categories of people, okay, based on their context, based on their location, their context, their socioeconomic status, and what have you, they find themselves in a disadvantaged position. in a disadvantaged position. Sometimes even based on where you stay. Based on where you stay, it will be difficult to access internet. Okay? Or even based on the kind of phone you are using. If it is a YAM phone, then you are in a disadvantaged position. Digital divide has separated groups who can access and use ICT from those who cannot. That is what we call digital divide. So you have a group of people who cannot easily access these platforms or use these platforms, but we also have a greater proportion who cannot access and who do not even have access to. They cannot use it. But in this day and age, we are closing the divide. The divide is closing, which means that, well, many people are in the brackets. But in the 1990s and early 2000s, Master, the divide was very wide. In our time, it was not until, I think, Form 2, SHS, second year, when they started, ICT lab. Well, first time, then we will go to the ICT lab. Of course, many people had not seen computer before, so, well, you go there, then they say, well, hold the mouse. Hold the mouse, and then you saw, one person carrying the mouse, raising the mouse. Hey, W, hold the mouse, put your hand on it, but then hold the mouse, then the person has raised it, Charlie. Yes. So at that point, you see the digital is so wide. But today, many people can access these ICT equipment. Okay, we can access them, use them. But there have been a lot of research, okay, across a lot of social characteristics, including race. Race in many jurisdictions, based on people's race. You see, race also determines your access to certain things, even your socio-economic, So minorities usually find themselves in a disadvantaged position. Gender, disability, socio-economic status. Well, if you cannot buy a sophisticated phone, which has maybe Android or those kind of functions, and then you are using YAM, even when we tell you to come online, then it becomes a problem, okay? Age, does age matter? Does age matter?
Yes, Prof.
Yes.
How?
Yes, sir.
How? Tell me.
Okay, Prof. Some of the online tools or online apps contain explicit materials that children are not supposed to get access to it. Like they are not supposed to.
All right. Okay. Well, okay, Senna, make your point as well.
So there are certain tools or there are certain sites that older generations cannot operate. Please let me know.
Please amplify your voice. Your voice is too low. Okay.
Okay. Please let me know.
Okay. Yes.
So I think there are certain tools that the older generation cannot.
Okay. The older generation, like the baby boomers. You see, the baby boomers, those who were born before computer, we call them BBC. BBC. BBC, born before computer, baby boomers, and that political generation. It's difficult for them to to properly utilize these platforms. So age is a greater determinant. Sometimes they have the sophisticated phones. Maybe their children abroad will buy them nice phones, all the features, yet they only use it for calls. Calls. Unless maybe when you vacate and you go say, oh, menana, Martha, oh, mama, yadi, mama, me video call, eh? But when you are away, then, it's just for receiving calls, okay? But that is that. These days, the younger ones, the Gen Z and the Alphas, okay, the very day they are born, they play with phones. That is what we used to keep them
They
happy.
are born with phones in their hand.
They are born with phones. 1 month, you go and then we'll be playing the phones to them. Baby shark, do, mommy shark, do, daddy shark, grandma shark, do. See, they are born with phone. We nurture them with phone. So, that is not so with the baby boomers who cannot, deploy or access this. Now, many countries, including the US, Norway, UK, and most of the advanced, they have implemented a broad range of policies, okay, aimed at closing the digital divide. So putting in place mechanisms so that we don't leave anyone behind. We are all almost on the same page. That race, socioeconomic, and all this will not be a disadvantage. Okay, everyone will have access to. So, in the Ghanaian context, policies like free SHS, okay, and introducing ICT at the lower level are all geared towards closing the divide, closing the digital divide. Sometimes they say we are doing fiber optic, they are enlarging, internet access in communities, okay, and all this in order to close the digital divide.
Well, what about STEM education?
STEM education, fantastic. All these are measures, okay. And you see, these days, even at the very local level, the lowest level of the education, when you go to the, even primary one, grade 1, grade 2, they are doing what? ICT, IT. Is that not the case? They are doing what? IT. Right. Unlike, our time, the millennials, the baby boomers, and the rest, you get to maybe senior high school, sometimes a Form 2 before you even start to know what is a computer. Today from class 1, we are learning this. And so the goal is to reduce the digital divide. And institutions like UG, okay, policy like 1 student, 1 laptop. The goal is to what? Is to ensure that we leave no one behind. At least your socioeconomic, status should not determine whether you have access to computer or internet, So even if you don't have, you can access the 1 student, 1 laptop, and then when we say we are doing online class, there should be no excuse. When we say go to the class platform and then learn, no excuse. Okay, you can go to UGCS, you have access to computer. You can go to the BAM library, you have access to computer. Okay, and I believe in many MMDAs, when you go to many communities today, when you go to the libraries, you don't only find books. It shouldn't be only books. They should have a computer or digital corners where you can use modern ICT to be learning. I don't believe if you go to let's say a library in Techman today, it should be only about physical books. No, they should have computers with internet that the people who go there can research electronic resources or ebooks.
Well, the computers available are normally 1 for the workers.
No, then that is not a functional one. They should have a corner where you have computers. People, but the books are old. We have e-books online, so they should, and we need to, they need to improve. These are ways we need to improve the system. Okay, yeah, we are talking about digitalization. This is how we should go. The libraries, they should have it so that people can even go and donate laptops. They have internet. This is something which can easily be done. It can easily be done. It's just the initiative. The community members themselves can even come and contribute. If they do Yeboah-Assiamah, small something. I mean, people will go and help out, and the government, will start with the seed money or something. Let's look at citizen participation, my dear friends. Have we done political participation? Have we done political participation?
Yes, please.
What is political
Yes,
participation?
bro.
What is participation? Yes, my dear
You
friends.
said it's the process by which citizens influence the decisions of government.
Fantastic. The various ways by which citizens will want to influence, the decisions of government. They want to influence the policies of government. They want to influence the actions of government. They want to influence the personnel of government. Yesterday, there was a political participation, activity. What was that? Yesterday.
Democracy under attack.
Democracy under attack. It was organized by which people?
The NPP government.
MPP.
The NPP, the New Patriotic Party. Okay, good. So this is political participation. Now, the idea of citizen participation has been with us long ago. It is not new. It is not new. It has been with us. But what is new, is the use of modern technology, to augment the way people participate or people seek to influence government actions and policies. E-participation refers to the use of digital tools. So, people use online platforms to mobilize people, to mobilize people, so that even on the day of the actual, let's say, protest, they have used the digital system to even do crowdsourcing for fund, crowdsourcing for resources, which on the D-Day, maybe they use it to support those who can come physically, So digital tools foster collective action. There are those who can donate maybe their brochure for, if they believe in the cause, they can donate monies to support the organizers, to even provide water and what have you to those who will come physically. And this is how, technology has helped e-participation. Look at this one. Fix the Country demonstration. You saw how they use online, to mobilize people. These tools come in a variety of forms, including digital online forums and meetings. Digital online forums and meetings, like what we are doing now, maybe one of these days, we also go live. We will do live sessions. What do you think? We're going to do some live sessions, online forums and meetings, interactive web. Of course, all these live sessions that we're doing, mobile applications and electronic polls. We can even be using online platform to do electronic polls. Like what Musa Dankwa would do. Say, 80% of Ghanaians are happy. Let's say maybe 80% of Ghanaians are happy about maybe Chairman Wuntumi's incarceration, or 80% of Ghanaians are not happy about his incarceration, or whether or not you think democracy is under attack. We can do online polls to find out whether indeed democracy is under attack, electronic or polls. Then you can know the views of people, like the World Value Survey. I mean, they are able to seek people's opinion and views on certain key issues about political culture, whether they trust their government, they trust state institutions, they trust political parties, they trust religious leaders, and what have you. We can use electronic polls for this. Digital participatory tools are therefore adopted and implemented by cities, by governments, and what have you. But the participation has been there long ago, except that we are using the digital platforms to take it a further step. Digital participation represents a continuation of existing practices and the digitalization of existing participatory opportunities. So if a community or if a society doesn't really show themselves approved when it comes to participation, okay, in other words, well, if they are not gladiatorial in nature, well, even with technology, they will still not be participating more, because that is their nature. They are not gladiatorial in nature, right? They are, if you like, mere spectators. Okay, well, they are spectators, like the president mentioned. I want you to be citizens and not what spectators. All right. People, when they are apathetics, clearly, even with technology, they will still not. Like many of you will not vote in the postal elections. Even though they have made the thing simplified, you can just be on your bed and still vote. Yet some people will still not vote. Is that not the case?
Yes, yeah.
Those days, people will say, oh, Mekra, well, I don't have class, so I cannot go to the department and then join the queue and vote. But today we have use technology that you can be in your hostel, you can be on your bed and just vote. Yet many people will not vote. How many will not vote? How many will not vote, my dear friends?
There are plenty.
There are plenty. These are the apathetics. We should subtract 10 marks from them. They are apathetics.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I think it depends.
It depends.
Yes.
How?
So, me, for instance, what the department is making me to go through now, I don't think anything about the department should interest me again.
Oh, no, but your leaders can take it up. Okay. You see, leadership. Your leaders can take your petition, your grievance. You see, when we talked about the sites or avenues of political participation, okay, you see, if you have greater concern, you can come as a class or maybe as a group, and then you inform your leadership. You can go with all of them, okay? So that, but to say that you are not participating, I can take you to the first slide of political participation. The dangers. Do you remember what the man was saying? The dangers. If you say you will not participate, you see, still we will get people to lead. But then, so it's important we still participate, okay? And then hold them accountable. We need to hold them accountable so that our grievances, they can take it a step further. But when you have concerns, you have to, I mean, you can come and then we will resolve it for you. Okay. At every level too, you have a course advisor. Okay. Please, if there are issues, there are ways you can deal with it. Jerome?
Yes, sir.
You can start at the student level. You can start with your course advisor, or you can even see the administrator, Auntie Alima. Okay.
Sir, I have petitioned everybody, including the HOD, but still.
Okay. No. So we can take some of these matters up. All right, Jerome. So
Yes,
find time Wednesday. You can come. And
yes,
then we can help resolve it for you.
Yes,
all
sir.
right.
Thank you very much. Sir.
Yes, you see, as part of the university strategic plan, we call it TISIS. TISIS. These are what 5 elements making the acronym. One is the T stands for transformative student experience. That is the first one. Transformative student experience. So we want you to have the good experience of the university, and for that matter, the department. And so come, whoever is the one not making you happy. I mean, we can engage, and then whatever grievance it will be addressed, so that you have that transformative student experience. Okay, so don't give up. Don't give up,
yes,
Jerome.
Sir.
All right,
yes,
fantastic. TISIS, transformative student experience. And even with that, let me specially invite you all, at least level 300, you are closer to 400. The program is mainly for level 400s, but then I also asked, and then, all students can participate. On Tuesday, the School of Social Sciences is organizing what we call SIC, Student Industry Conference. Okay, Student Industry Conference. It is as part of our strategic plan. Okay, the School of Social Sciences, which is made up of at least 5 departments. The political science is one of them. I represent political science department on that committee. Okay. So, in fact, I just called Dr. Mame Jeche. On Tuesday, she has a class, 9:30, gender and politics. So I pleaded with her to allow all the students, level 400, to come and attend the program. Okay. I'm also throwing the invite to you. Please come. It is Student Industry Conference. Come, and then you meet industry players, people from the world of work. They will tell you some skills you need, out there, and all you need to know about, the outside world. Okay, beyond the academia, after school, what is next? It is for level 400. We organize it every year because we care for you. And Jerome, we care for the students. So come, all
yes,
of
sir.
you. On Tuesday, it starts at 8:30. Okay, 8:39. Come to the city conference. Once the flyer is ready, I'll share with you. Okay, we are still developing the flyer. We are finalizing it. Once it is ready, I'll share with all of you, so that Tuesday you come and learn a lot of things. There'll be a career fair as well. Okay, people from YEA, they are coming. People from the private sector, they are coming. State institutions. All you need to know about what you need in the world of work. You can ask any questions as well. And that is as part of our strategic plan option 1, TISIS, transformative student experience. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you, Jerome, for chipping that in. You see, the digital participation is a continuation of whether or not the people themselves, they like participation. Otherwise, they will still have the platforms, but they will still not participate. All right, let's look at it. The use of digital tools promotes citizen participation. Like how most of you will vote today. If it were to be manual, maybe you wouldn't want to come to the department because you don't have anything. Your lecture is even online. So clearly, you don't even want to bath today. Huh? You don't even want to bath today. You don't want to leave your hostel. So once it is digital online voting, you can be in the hostel, you can be on your phone and still be voting. People can easily take their phone. If there is something going on in their area, do a short video, post it on any social media platform. Bloggers will take it, the traditional media will discuss it, and then there will be solution. Most larger cities promote citizen participation through the use of ICT and new media, and you all have access to the new media. Examples of this include social media, okay, which all of you have social media platforms, virtual networks, content creation, okay, content creation. And my dear friends, it is based on this particular lecture I told you. I introduced this lecture last 2 years, technopolitics. It's a very new concept in comparative politics. And it is based on these, readings, this literature that I created the page Comparative Politics for Society, that YouTube platform. Okay. And you see, content creation is an element, it's an emerging field in comparative politics where people use digital platforms to make content on governance issues. Okay, more refined ones, not ones that people be threatening or leaders. No, these ones, more academic, more refined, and then you align it with so that you are shaping what policies, governance matters, content creation, and then sharing platforms. And that is why, as part of this course, we will be doing practicals of it. You are not learning theories, okay, my dear friends? You will do practicals of this content creation. So I will ask you to go and do something, okay, which I told you last week. This is an advancement of this technopolitics which we are studying, and scholars have argued about this. So once I give you the assignment, please go and do it. Do it and do it well. You are doing comparative politics, technopolitics, and content creation. Sharing platforms are key elements of this. Now, let's see how technopolitics is shaping citizen participation. Participation has been with us, but how is technology shaping this participation?
Democracy always depends on technology. This is something that is often not obvious to people, but it's a very plain historical fact. Before the modern era, we have no examples whatsoever of a large-scale democracy, because you can't have a public conversation about politics in a large territory with hundreds of thousands or millions of people. In a small city like ancient Athens, or in a hunter-gatherer tribe, everybody can meet, know each other, have a discussion, and decide what to do about war and peace, about economics, whatever. In a large kingdom, it was impossible. So we don't have any examples of a large-scale democracy until the emergence of modern communication and information technology. And this, for the first time, made it possible for millions of people spread over a large territory to have a political conversation.
So that is to tell you that technology is reinforcing democracy. Technology makes democracy more realistic in contemporary times. But for technology, how would democracy or representative democracy be possible? How can leaders communicate to their citizens? Even your DC, how can they communicate to you? How can you demand accountability during COVID time? During COVID time, how was the president addressing the nation? Yes, how was the president addressing the state? How? Tell me. During COVID time.
Through the media.
Through the media, okay? They'll say, oh, maybe Monday, 9 o'clock, the president will address what? The states. And so everybody will be glued to their televisions. Those who will be outside, they'll be glued to their phones because the thing will go on live. And that is how technology shapes democracy and participation. And those that were live, they could be commenting real time. They could comment on whatever the president is saying. Okay, they can comment. Or once the podcast is online, people will go and share their views. And there are people who monitor this for government or actors. There are those who are paid to be monitoring these pages. Check the comments. What are the people saying? What do we need to do? Okay, so it shapes political participation. Now, COVID-19 pandemic, the restrictions on physical gathering shaped the demand for these, media platforms. Before then, many people were averse to technology. Even in the university, many people, many faculty were not using Sakai. Okay, even though the technology had been there, only a few people would use it. And only a few people would use it. But when COVID struck, Sakai became the order of the day. It became the order of the day, whether you like it or not. And so there was a series of training for faculty and for students. So, and that was so with many organizations, not just for UG. Many organizations, many universities across the world. So in organizations, people were asked to work from home. Okay, they will be working from home. Innovations in digital participation promise to facilitate two-way communication. Okay, so with digital participation, it is a two-way communication. It is not just your MP, your minister, telling you what they want you to hear, but you also have the platform. If they communicate something, you can also go and comment about it. Or you can just take what? You can just copy just a snippet of the statement made by the leader, and you also do your content based on that thing that the leader has said. So it's a two-way communication. It is not just they telling you something. You also can share your view. Okay, unlike traditionally where they tell you what they want you to hear, and then you are always at the receiving point. No, it's a two-way communication. It's a two-way communication. People can comment on issues. They can make their own comments or content on whatever the leader has argued. So technology serves as an interface, okay? It serves as an interface between government and citizens. It brings citizens and government to a common platform where they can communicate among themselves. The people can share their problems, their sentiments to the leaders. The leaders can listen. The leaders can also share or tell what they have done or what they need to do, whatever is requested of them. Then the people can say also engage again. Two-way communication, not one way. Digital tools foster interaction between citizens and enable self-organization. Self-organization, okay? It puts people, it puts their, if you like, their destinies in their own hands. You don't require someone to come and, propagate, or someone to come and tell your story for you, okay? You can just take a phone. If the road is no good, you can take a picture of it, and then you share, you give some kind of some voiceover, okay? You tag some people, and then before you realize, there'll be few moments later, you see people misbehaving somewhere, and then you take it, you tag the relevant people like the Ghana police and what have you, and then there's a few moments later, you have had results. It can also reduce the cost for city governments, to crowdsource and consult citizens. The way they're able to secure collective, the way they're able to mobilize people is easier using the digital platforms. You can crowdsource people for collective action. It reduces the barriers to participation, promotes equality and inclusion. We've mentioned that these days, the new media has brought about new power to the people. Okay, no one can gag you. No one can say we are blacklisting you from the media. We will invite you to our TV station again. And so, well, people cannot hear you. Oh, no. No. It promotes equality and inclusion. It creates direct connections between citizens and politicians. No one can say they will not send your matter. They will make sure the president will never hear. And so then the media will not project it. No. These days, there's the direct way, okay? Share it to go viral. And then policymakers, politicians will hear or get to know what is happening. Scholars like Rodota have argued that there's a powerful potential for technopolitics. Okay, but it improves the traditional ways of doing things. There should be things about transparency, accountability, brings for direct participation, decision-making, and higher degrees of deliberation. These are the brighter side of technopolitics. It brings more transparency in governance because people can demand what? For answers, okay? For answers, transparency, accountability. There's direct participation, no middle ground, or no middlemen who will be receiving what? Information. Direct participation. If contractor has not done the thing, they cannot massage a report. The citizens cannot directly tag the ministry. They can take a picture and tag the ministry, do a voiceover. Otherwise, the minister no nechibe. It enhances decision making. There's high degree of deliberation. That's what give and take, two-way affair. It empowers actors in various degrees. It empowers people because now everybody has access. People use social media for political mobilization. Okay, like so people engage in social media activism, like Martha, social media activism, right? But we do it using the right with the ethical mindset. Okay, we do it responsibly. No, not going about threatening people. Okay, in a more responsible manner, right? Not in a reckless manner. Social media, people use it to call leaders to account, to call leaders out, and not to be defaming people or leaders. You saw how This one, what is that? Yes, Fix the Country, okay? They use social media for their activism purposes for activity. So, my dear friend, this is your last assignment, okay? Yes, that's your final assignment. All the topics we've done, you can take any of them and then you do a 2 to 3 minutes short video. That is your content creation assignment. Don't do a boring video, okay? Demonstrate a lot of what? Aesthetics. We want to see some kind of aesthetics in the video, not too boring, you know. So if you don't know how to make, go and see Martha or go online and then learn how to make a proper video with a lot of enhancements, okay? Some transitions, you know, bringing and, you know, cutting and putting some pieces together and making it refined one, okay? That will be your final assignment for the semester. But my dear friends, even though technopolitics has a lot of advantages, and of course, I have drafted an article on it, a manuscript which has been under review for some months, okay? Yeah, I mean, it will get published, and perhaps maybe next year, those who will be reading, those in 200, when they get to 300, by which time the article is published, which will make it easier for them. And the title is Technopolitics. Well, we argue that it is a two-edged sword. Technology in politics serves as a two-edged sword. You know a two-edged sword? It can cut on this side and then it can cut on the other side. Yes. A sword where both sides are sharp. Okay. So technopolitics, or the use of technology in political process, it has the brighter side, the advantages. It also has the negative side, which is the downside. So we say it is a two-edged sword. Fantastic title. And we've done a lot of synthesis of the positive side and then the negative. Look at what Rodota argues. It brings for transparency, accountability, direct participation, you know, and all this. These are the brighter side. But that is also what the negative aspect. It can breed misinformation, or it can deceive people. The impact of fake news and information warfare on public opinion and democratic processes. Yes. You see, these days the government is trying to clamp down on some of this because people are abusing the system, using the technology to misinform and disinform people, to defame people. I mean, these are the negative aspects, my dear friends. So we should take note of this. If I ask you that technopolitics is serving as a two-edged sword, or I mean, could serve as a two-edged sword in the political process, discuss. This can be a very useful question for you. Now, the negative aspect, it can lead to misinformation and disinformation. And please note the difference between misinformation and disinformation. With misinformation, well, maybe you are naive. You were not aware that the thing is not true. They were sharing and you also shared some. You were not aware that, well, of course, well, in law, they will say ignorance, okay, ignorance cannot be a defense, okay? But with misinformation, usually the people might, they think what they are sharing is true, but in actual sense, it is not true, okay? That is why when it comes to those matters, it is usually a civil matter. And like say, when you say something about someone and then it's a defamation. And so, I mean, what they usually do is to tell you to retract and apologize. Okay. Just yesterday in the news, one lady, you know, well, ostensibly a newspaper has published something about the lady. Then the lady's lawyers have written to the newspaper that they have written what in law we call it demand letter, okay, demand notice, where lawyers will write to the one who made the allegation or who has offended someone, okay, requesting you to do specific things. So the lawyers of the lady have written that they want the newspaper to use their front page, okay, to retract and apologize. Anything short of that, they are sending them the issue to court. So that's how we write demand letter. State the exact what remedies you seek. So they say, well, publish it in the front page, and you retract and what you apologize unconditionally. Unconditional apology. Don't try to explain it. Just what apologize. Okay. And if you fail to do that, you meet us in court. Now with misinformation, well, you think it's true, but it's not true. That is why they give you the opportunity to come out, retract and apologize. But disinformation, the people think is, you know that the thing is not true. In fact, you know that the thing is not true, but then you say it anyway. In fact, maybe you even will deliberately put the pieces together, just to disinform the people. You want to disinform people. You know what you are saying is not true, but then you want to, dram it home till it becomes the truth. That is disinformation. And this is something which is very phenomenal in contemporary times. In many democracies, there have been efforts to clamp down on misinformation and disinformation. People be sharing this. So look at this thing here, which even in the US, people are talking about disinformation, online disinformation in the US, implications for Latin America. These are matters people are talking about. Look here also, combating fake news and misinformation on social media with technology. And that tells us that, technopolitics, even though it's good, it has some negative aspects. Misinformation and then disinformation. Now, what is very grievous, okay, which can be so bad about it, is what we call deep fake. This one is too dangerous, okay? Deep fake is more dangerous. It's a more dangerous negative aspect of technopolitics. You see, you can be in the lecture room speaking to students of Poly 352. You are in the lecture room, okay? You are standing there speaking. Well, of course, you were in the lecture room. You were wearing the same attire. But the words you spoke, people will put different words in your mouth, okay, to purport that you were the one who said those things. And that is very dangerous. We call it deep fake. The use of AI, the use of AI can put words in your mouth. Let's say it's a campaign. You've not said something bad, but then, people have used AI to put those words in your mouth. And this can this can go against national security. It can bring a lot of security implications. For example, they put words in your mouth that, oh, well, we should go and kill these people or do, very dangerous. Okay. Then that is what we call deep fake. Let's see deep fake.
The Republican National Committee this week using computer-generated video to show apocalyptic what-if scenarios for President Biden to be reelected.
It feels like the train is coming off the tracks.
But AI in politics is hardly hypothetical. It's here. From fake pictures of Donald Trump getting arrested to a fake video of President Biden instituting a military draft.
The recommended way forward will be to invoke the Selective Service Act.
Artificial intelligence, with its easily accessed voice cloning and face swapping tools, adding a new dimension to the political universe.
What I worry about in particular is that 2024 will be a GPT election. It will be the first time that these technologies are available in the context of an election, in the context of hundreds of millions of dollars, trying to push into the persuasion space.
In some ways, AI helps political operatives, making it easier to fundraise or communicate with voters. NBC News has learned the Democratic National Committee, for example, has experimented with drafting campaign emails using AI, according to a source familiar, who says a staffer still edits before anything's sent widely. Eric Wilson's a Republican digital strategist.
We're really excited about the potential for artificial intelligence to help make campaigns more interactive and to really free up campaign staff to hire better uses of their time, just like any other tool would.
Still, there's a dangerous downside to AI, the risk of disinformation.
And allowing Republicans to vote.
Take this computer-generated Elizabeth Warren, suggesting Republicans shouldn't be allowed to cast ballots.
It is necessary to restrict Republican voting in the 2024 election.
The senator never said that, but AI can make it easier for anyone, not just experts, to create fake content. To show you how simple it can be, we tried prompting one AI site with something ludicrous.
Politician kicking puppies.
But some strategists worry about what could happen when the lines blur around what's real and what's not.
To the extent that AI allows people who are trying to deceive people, to the extent that they can do that with better content, will be problematic.
New technology and a new political frontier. Hallie Jackson, NBC News, Washington.
So that is the challenge.
Thanks for watching our YouTube channel. Follow today's top stories and breaking news by downloading the NBC News app.
Can be used for anything. They can put certain words in your mouth. You've not said it. Well, I was there, but and I was even wearing the same dress, but I didn't say that. Master, you go explain Taya. You explain Taya. Okay, those are, the downside. We've talked about digital divide already, my dear friends. Okay. There are some cases like China. There's extensive use of facial recognition and AI for social control. We've talked about surveillance versus privacy concerns. Okay, they are building great firewall, which has also implication on people's, freedoms and privacy. Okay, and all these have implication for comparative politics. Okay, all right. Let's look at regulation, because we need to regulate the use of technology in political matters so that we are able to reduce the threats that comes with technopolitics. Okay, let's look at regulation, because without regulation, we cannot reap the benefits and also to control the threats.
If we are entering into a future where anything can be faked, well, then nothing is going to be real.
Until recently, seeing was generally believing, while voters couldn't be sure a candidate was always telling the truth.
Well, I'm not a crook. I burned everything I've got.
Relations with that woman.
They could trust that they did actually speak the words captured on video. The proliferation of deepfakes has changed that and could have a huge impact on how political campaigns unfold.
What happens when we enter a future in which we simply don't believe what we read, hear, or see online? How do we have a democracy? How do we agree on basic facts of what's happening in the world?
Deepfakes, synthesized video created by artificial intelligence, can depict people saying or doing things that didn't actually happen.
President Trump is a total and complete dip.
And as we approach the 2020 presidential election, the race is on to develop new technology to tackle them.
So the way we attack this problem is we build so-called soft biometric models. And these are, think biometrics like fingerprint, iris, your face. So it's not quite as unique as that. But the intention is to capture subtle facial expressions, head movements that are distinct to you as an individual and are disrupted in the creation of a fake.
Researchers at UC Berkeley are among those working on ways to beat deepfakes. They plan to make their technology available to media organizations covering the 2020 campaign.
The first thing we do is we measure all kinds of head movements and facial expressions. So you can see in this video that we're capturing, the blue box is capturing how his head is rotating in three-dimensional space. The red dots are localizing his facial expressions so we can actually see when he raises his eyebrows and when he opens his mouth. And then, of course, the green lasers coming out of his eyes are telling us where he is looking. And so on every frame of the video, over the entire video, we make a number of measurements about his facial expressions, his facial movements, and his head movements. And then we use those to build soft biometric models that distinguish him from, for example, a comedic imposter that is used to create a face swap or a lip sync deep fake. Because we're going after these really fundamental properties about the video, we think the adversary is going to have a very hard time to counteract our detection. Not impossible, but I think they're going to have a hard time. You don't really stop the forger, but what you do is you make it more difficult for them, more time consuming for them, and it requires more skill. We're basically putting speed bumps in the road for them.
Deepfake creators are constantly adapting their techniques to outsmart new detection tactics. So it's crucial that detection technology doesn't fall into the wrong hands.
It's a double-edged sword. It's a forensic technique that can also be used to create better fakes. So we want to be very thoughtful about how we deploy this technology and to whom we make it available. One of the weaknesses of our technique is that it's not generic. We have to learn a model.
So this is about what's courts, okay? The way with which society or human agency will regulate, okay, or will try to, counter the bad side or the negative side of technology, okay? And so, they are trying to bring about tools to detect deepfake from, or if you like, fake information, okay, fake videos from original ones. Very crucial. And they need to use regulations or policy interventions, to properly ensure that technology will not be ahead, or technology will not unduly disrupt, okay, the way politics is done, the way governance is done. But then society, the technology will rather enhance it, okay, not to come and downgrade it. The actor network or theory, which says that both technology and then human agents interact, okay, they interact to shape political process. So now you have states coming with some regulations to promote or to regulate the way technology is used, okay. And many states are trying to come up with ways to regulate. In the US, they are making efforts to regulate the system, of course. In the Ghanaian context also, well, it is still in the pipeline. Let's look at this US context.
Monday, President Biden signed an executive order requiring AI developers share safety test results with the government. The Commerce Department will also create guidance on labeling AI-generated content, but many see this as a first step.
These giant technologies, okay, he signed for them to regulate, okay, the way that things are being designed, and also there should be somewhat ethical standards with regards to, how these things are deployed. That is a way to ensure that we are not taken aback by these technologies. But in the Ghanaian situation, the regulation has still been in the pipeline. I believe maybe we have advanced a bit, but the the Ghana Employees Association, they have called on the state or government in 2024 when they met. They called on the government to come up with measures to regulate AI. Okay, they argue that, well, AI is good because it shapes how work is done. You can infuse it in work processes, but then there should be some concerns about ethics, privacy, accountability, and security. Okay. In Ghana, the adoption of AI technologies is expanding across various sectors. However, we have not advanced the regulatory framework to combat the risk of misuse, discrimination, and negative consequences associated with the emerging technology, which means that we need to enhance the regulatory processes so that the technology, will be guided by regulation. And so the two will come together, both regulation and then the technology will be shaping society. Not that because the technology is available, it is what dictating the pace. It can do anything in a more predictable manner. No, there should be regulations with regards to the ethics, the security, and the fact that the technology can hack into people's privacy does not mean that people should have the rights to do that. Yeah. So Ghana has passed some laws which have relevance to this. Okay, for example, you cannot put someone's naked things online, what have you. The fact that you have your platform doesn't mean you can share certain news about people. That one, the electronic law and what have you will pick you up. All right. So my dear friends, the push for a regulatory framework is therefore a proactive step towards ensuring that AI development and its deployment in Ghana will align with ethical and legal standards. My dear friends, this will be the end of today's session. I pause here if there's any question, comments. Let's share them. Yes. Any question, comments? Now, by the way, since this is going to be your last assignment, okay, this is going to be your last assignment, or maybe, or I should let you go and do one on this one. Jerome, what do you think?
No, please.
Angela?
Okay, the assignment's out.
Okay, so this one, just go and do the video. And whilst you are doing your video, please, all your assignments, the guided learning assignment that you've done, please print them. Okay, print them. And then you add your IEOs to print all of them. So, and then you bind them. Okay, so you have the first assignment, maybe first one, which is on top. And then after that, you have a blank paper. Then you write there, guided learning assignment 2. You can even add the question, blank paper. Then the second assignment follows. Once that is done, you bring a blank page, guided learning assignment 3. You can bring the question. Then the assignment follows. The last one is your IA, your interim assessment. You bind everything, okay? Then you submit it in class after the deadline. The deadline is 10th, right? Is that not the case? So you present that hard copy, okay, printed hard copy of all your assignments as a compendium, okay? Any question? Hello? All right. In the absence of any question, my dear friends, today's class is ended. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. We will meet on Tuesday at the city conference room, okay? At the student industry conference. I want to see you all there, okay? All right.
Sir. Prof. On the
Yes.
Would you be at the office today?
No, I'm not in the office.
Okay.
On Wednesday, okay.
Okay. Yes,
sir. All right.
Please, the video.
Yes.
What is the deadline?
The video, I'm giving you 2 weeks, okay?
Oh yeah, bro.
Yeah, 2 weeks, so you have more time so that you can do a nice video. Okay.
Okay.
On any topic
On
treated.
any of the topics. Okay.
Okay.
Any of the topics, and then yeah, any of the topics. All right. 2 to 3
Please,
minutes.
what should be the okay. I
You
was
can
about
even
asking
do,
of the length.
2 to 3 minutes, or 2 to 3 or 4 minutes. You can do group work. Okay. Maybe a group of 3 to 5 members. All right. Maybe 3 to 5 members. You can do a video, and then we have all. Okay. All right. All right.
That's my upcoming HOD.
Zero. Enjoy your weekend, okay, ladies and gentlemen. Bye bye. See you.
Bye. Bye.